Hello. You just reached MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Your patience while holding is appreciated. Our representatives are working hard to get you closer to the guys on top of the pit boxes, over the wall, and on your radio dial. Thank you for holding. You are now being connected to your hosts, Tony Rizzuti and Kit Cruz.
Welcome to MRN Crew Call. We are presented by Hercules Tires. We ride on their strength. I'm Tony Rizzuti, and I'm joined by a guy who puts a little bang in your yin-yang.
Well, yeah, now you're
Say
talking.
hello to Kid Cruz. How we doing,
now
buddy?
You're speaking my language. Just when I thought you didn't know me anymore.
Huh?
You know me.
I pull these out of the, it's
Yeah.
like I've got a whole plethora, word of the day.
Bring
Don't
it.
try to spell it, of these things. Hey, you can join our conversation. Maybe you've got a opening line for the show that we could throw in. Love to hear it. You can tweet us at MRN Radio. Use the hashtag AskMRN. We also have the Fan Forum hotline. We love to get your comments there. 1-844-4-ASK-MRN to leave a message. Fun show today. First crew call will be to JTG Daugherty Racing, the 37 car, Trent Owens.
Yep.
The crew chief will catch up with Trent. Always good to hear from him. And then we'll zip down to Bristol Motor Speedway. You know they're racing there this weekend. down in Thunder
How about
Valley.
tonight? How about they're racing tonight?
The tough trucks. Kurt Becker will be in the booth with Kyle Rickey, also Daniel Hemrick for tonight's truck race. So we'll catch him with Kurt, find out what all's happening down in Bristol. We got PJ1 back on the track, but it's kind of a second generation of it. So we'll get all the scoop from Bristol. So it should be a lot of fun. And then as always, the game show, 5 on and 5 off.
Did you figure out a category, by the way?
I did.
He was running through the hallways yesterday trying to figure out a category.
I was struggling with this because keep in mind the trivia, for the trivia game to work, which it barely does, it has to be a number, right? It's got to be numbers that they can guess, which is hard to find trivia that matches.
Right.
And then to find a category each week that kind of has something to do with anything, I came up with After Dark. Since we're running at night this weekend, After Dork. After Dork. That's probably what this show will be called next week. Hey, it's time to check in with our crew cut. And if you didn't get by my intro to my partner here, today's crew cut is with a band I actually know.
You know these
guys. They might be
guys.
coming to your city. It's Big and Rich.
Yeah,
I love these guys.
Big and Rich. They've been known to hang out with NASCAR drivers from time to time, sing a national anthem or two at a race. They're big NASCAR fans. I look forward to seeing them next week. But we also just talked about some NASCAR memories. And I asked John Rich of Big and Rich if when they're at the track, they ever get to hang with any of the guys, any of the drivers.
We run into them every now and then, you know, but they're kind of in game mode, and so are we. But the coolest thing I ever did at a NASCAR race was back when I was in the band Lone Star. We played at Bristol. Actually, we sang the national anthem at Bristol, and I got to be in Dale Earnhardt's pit crew and wear the pit crew stuff and have the headset on and the whole thing. And I remember the guy told me he doesn't say a whole lot, you know, if he says something, pay attention because he don't talk very much. And sure enough, he only said maybe 4 or 5 things the entire race, but he actually wound up winning that race, skidding out sideways across the finish line in front of the other car. It was just unbelievable. Never forget it.
A Bristol memory from John Rich of Big and Rich. Their new single, Sunshine, is, or California. I'm like you, California, Sunshine. I had a Tony Rizzuti moment
You
there.
did
Yeah,
right
I
there.
know. Well, it's sunny in California.
Yeah,
They have a
it
new
never
single
rains
called
in
California. Right. It's racing up the charts. We'll talk more about them and play their music this weekend on NASCAR USA. I'm just going to shut up now.
Is Cowboy Troy still with them?
Occasionally. I haven't seen him lately.
No.
I'll ask next week.
Yeah, it's amazing how they had that big breakout album, as all country artists, overnight success, even though they'd been playing honky tonks and everywhere else for multiple years. But it's been amazing how that record, once it got tied to college football coming to your city, they've been able to just parlay that into a great gig on the college football scene. So always good to hear from Big and Rich. Love having them in the NASCAR world. All right, we got to take our first break here on MRN Crew Call. We come back, we'll talk to Chris Buescher's crew chief. It's Trent Owens. He's next here on MRN Crew Call. Stand by.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for the Summer Brake Deals event. Take advantage of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Do It Right rebate and get a $25 O'Reilly gift card by mail when you buy a set of Brake Best Select pads and a pair of rotors. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
On September 9th, it's not the dark you'll be afraid of. It's the unmitigated chaos known as Richmond Raceway, the home of NASCAR and the Commonwealth. Don't miss the intensity of the final race of NASCAR's 2017 regular season with the Federated Auto Parts 400. The first regular season champion will be crowned during the Who's Your Driver race weekend. For tickets, visit richmondraceway.com. Richmond Raceway, where there's chaos at every corner, and the night action never ends.
Thank you for joining MRN Crew Call. If you know your party's extension, please send it along. I haven't been to a good one in years. Now here's Tony and Kid.
Hey now. Welcome back to the program. Kid Cruz, Tony Rizzuti with you. Hope you're having a great Wednesday as we get set for a little truck racing tonight at Bristol on the Motor Racing Network, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out your local MRN station, MRN.com, the free MRN app. We've got it all covered tonight from Thunder Valley. That's the trucks tonight, and then starting this weekend, Saturday night, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series will be in action, and one of the drivers trying to make their way into the playoffs is the number 37 Chevrolet JTG Daugherty Racing. Chris Buescher is the driver, but the crew chief is joining us now. It is Trent Owens. Trent, how are you today?
Oh, doing well. Just putting the final touches on our Bristol primary and get it out the door. How you guys doing?
Man, we're doing fantastic. Hey, let's talk about the season a little bit. 25th in points, 3 top 10s. Assess where you're at right now with about 3 to go until the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the season started out a little slow for us. Just everything was new. The expansion was a little bit of an undertaking. So I think we found our way over the past few months. We've been putting more competitive cars on the racetrack, and the Glen and Michigan was both decent finishes for us. And I think Chris is showing good feedback, gaining confidence, and I think everything's headed in the right direction. So I know when we talked over the winter, Bristol and Darlington both was 2 of his favorite tracks. So looking to continue the momentum for Michigan and see what we can do. Yeah,
so 6th this race last year, right, was 6th place at Bristol. The spring, not the best result, but you're coming off a 6th there at Michigan. How you feeling going into the weekend?
Well, anytime you go to any racetrack and have a competitive weekend, going into the next race, you feel a lot better. But we had a really fast car at Bristol. The first race, we just got in an accident early. Wasn't able to really show anything for it. So I feel good. I feel like a lot of times these second races for us on the season, going back for a second time, is so far proved to be an improvement. So I'm looking for Bristol to be the same.
You mentioned just a minute ago 2 races that you guys look forward to at the beginning of the season, or Chris does pretty well at Bristol and Darlington. You are from Darlington. Is it crazier? You must be looking forward to that in 2 weeks. Is it crazier than a Daytona 500 for you, being down there with friends and family? How many people are showing up that day for you?
It's always an important race for me personally. Just growing up in Darlington, and not only that, but it's one of the most historic tracks we race at. So yeah, always a special race. However, the Daytona 500 is our Super Bowl, and growing up around NASCAR and Cup racing, there's nothing quite like the feeling of driving in the Daytona from that perspective. But probably second on the list for feeling of importance, it would be Darlington for me personally.
Trent, you seem to always get partnered up with a lot of the young drivers as they're coming up through their careers. You had Eric Amarola with the 43 car, now Chris Buescher with the 37. What's the one thing you notice about the young drivers that you've had to work with that maybe they either didn't realize about the Cup Series, or that you have to explain to them about racing at the top level?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is gaining confidence in yourself, and allowing allowing the driver to learn that and letting them know that when they feel something, when they feel something, believe in themselves, tell you the right things, and also not to pay attention too much to the speed board or lap time call out. A lot of times if the car feels good, it'll go out and race good. And I think the difference between learning and experienced drivers, or the fact that the experienced drivers know what they need to go out and go race. All these guys are good enough to go out and turn a fast lap. But to go out and race, for 500 miles, 400 miles, knowing what you need in a race car to do that is really the key to performing.
Let's talk about Bristol a little bit. Obviously, they're putting down the track bite again. This isn't new for us. We've done it at a couple of tracks now. I'm sure they've learned a little bit more. But as a crew chief, how does that change how you approach the race this weekend? Will you be watching the trucks tonight to kind of see how it works out? What's your plan with the how you approach the track bite?
Yeah, I definitely like to, as a race fan, I watch races anyways, but definitely it helps to, see what particular groove might work over the other. I think it's been a common trend for us at Bristol now, so we kind of know what to expect. And then obviously, they reapply before the race, and it doesn't really impact anything as far as the first half of the race being difficult or anything like that. So I'm a fan of it. I think it's a great thing. When it's applied properly and the groove can continue around the corner, and that's more what I'm looking at when I try to see if the grip has been extended far enough that we don't have any new challenges as far as being in the grip and losing the grip too early.
You and your teammate, the 47, AJ Allmendinger, both teams really, it's going to take a win to probably get into the playoffs. You talk about 2 of the 3 tracks coming up, Bristol and Darlington being really good for Chris. We also have Richmond. It'll be the second time around for him in that 37 car when we get there. It's going to take a win. Is that a realistic expectation for the 37 team right now to get a win? Or how do you approach trying to make the playoffs? Is that something you worry about right now?
Yeah, it is going to take a win for both of us. And Bristol probably is the best race for both of us to get that win. To go into Bristol, just saying we're going to go up there and dominate the race, no, we probably don't go into that track or, thinking that's going to happen. If strategy plays out where we can take a chance, we'll obviously do that. But, for us, it's preparing the car the best we know how. It's hopefully when we get there, we're a top 10 race car through practice, and if we can perform in the top 10, maybe top 5 towards the end of the race, we put ourselves in position. So that's really where our focus is, just really putting ourselves in position to have a good run and hope the race plays out in our favor.
All right, Trent, before we go, not necessarily from a crew chief perspective, but maybe just a true NASCAR fan perspective, it's been an exciting season, right? Stage racing, rules changes, new winners, first-time winners. What's been your most exciting memory moment or what you've enjoyed seeing this year so far?
Yeah, I don't think it's really any particular moment, but I have thoroughly enjoyed the stage racing. I enjoy that there's strategies within the stages, there's strategies within the total race. I think that's been an awesome change to our sport. I think statistically, I don't think anybody can argue that the racing is competitive. More cars are finishing lead lap than ever. So yeah, that's probably been the biggest change, and it's actually been a lot of fun for me to call races. When I moved from Xfinity to Cup in 14. One thing in 14, I noticed myself in the middle of some of them races, even being a crew chief, you were just trying to maintain and get to the end of the race, where now that is not the case.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, appreciate the time as always. Get out there, get that primary car ready to go. Want to see that 37 up front this weekend, and good luck at Bristol on Saturday night.
All right, thank you, guys.
There he is,
Thanks.
Trent Owens. Good dude, really good dude.
Yeah.
Petty family, been crew chiefing for a while. Actually crew chiefed in the Xfinity Series with Kyle Larson. So he's been around. He's taken some young guys and molded them.
I think you can go even way back to working with Clint Boyer in the ARCA series.
Yeah. So Trent,
done it all, man.
If you're going to put a young guy or young driver with a crew chief, that's a good combo right there. Be interesting to watch the 37 this weekend. Saturday night at Bristol again. PRN. Our friends over at PRN will have Friday night and Saturday night. But tonight with the tough trucks, MRN's got you covered. MRN.com, MRN app, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, we got to take a break here on MRN Crew Call. We'll check in at Bristol, the aforementioned Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll talk to Kurt Becker. I think that's what I was trying to say. He's back after this break. MRN Crew Call. Stay tuned.
While the best drivers in the world fire up their engines, it's time for you and the family to fire up the grill. Creekstone Farms has the most tender and highest quality premium Black Angus beef in the country and are offering one of their juiciest deals of the year this July. Race over to creekstonefarms.com now and use promo code MRN Burgers to get a box of 6 delicious burgers free when you place an order of $100 or more. That's promo code MRN Burgers at creekstonefarms.com to get your box of burgers for free today.
Hey race fans, visit Camping World in Concord for convenient one-stop shopping on outdoor accessories, top brand RVs, and quality service. Buy an RV and enroll in the Good Sam Elite loyalty program, offering incentives valued at over $2,000. Browse over 10,000 Camping World products and accessories in America's largest RV dealer network. Plus, shop the top manufacturers such as Coleman, Keystone, Newmar, Thor Motor Coach, Winnebago, and many more. America's #1 RV dealer has something for everyone. Visit Camping World in Concord today.
See dealer for full offer details and disclaimers.
Are you ready?
To help children forget about their serious medical conditions so they can just be a kid. Then support Victory Junction, which is the dream of late race driver Adam Petty, who wanted to build a camp where children concentrate on fun and laughter, not illness or disability. At Victory Junction, kids enjoy ziplining, horseback riding, swimming, fishing, all in a medically safe environment, all at no cost to the camper. What do you say, Richard Petty?
Let's do this.
Learn more at victoryjunction.org.
Thank you for listening to our program. If you like what you hear, tell your friends. If you don't, tell them we're Winged Nation. You're being transferred back to Tony and Kid.
Thank you so much, Susie Q. You know what? I just figured out why Wing Nation is so popular.
Why?
It's all the people that don't like our show. And they tell them they listen to Wing Nation.
Well, I'd rather have them enjoy Wing Nation than that fantasy show or whatever we have also on the network.
In truth, shout out to the folks at Wing Nation. Knoxville Nationals this last weekend. 4 live shows from Knoxville, Iowa. The Super Bowl of sprint car racing, wing sprint car racing. They crushed it. Steve Post, Aaron Evernham, Kendra Jacobs, the whole team down there. Craig Moore, the producer. Shout out to those guys. Wing Nation, I mean, yeah, it was something that Steve brought to us, 4 or 5 years ago. It was just something he wanted to do as a short podcast. It's turned into a TV show and everything else. Real proud of the work they did over the weekend and wanted to give them a public shout out. Great job. All right, we've talked about Bristol a lot. We got the Tough Trucks tonight, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Kurt Becker is in Bristol. He'll have the call tonight with Kyle Rickey and Daniel Hemrick, and he is on the guest line. Kurt, how are you?
Guys, good to be with you. It is a beautiful day here in East Tennessee, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the first thing I want to ask you, a little quick weather update. I saw maybe like a 20-30% chance of rain. You know, anytime in the summer you got to worry about pop-up showers. How are things looking for tonight weather-wise?
So far, so good. I think we're going to be fine, guys, and you're right. I mean, in years past, we've had to dodge a few pop-ups here and there, but I think we're good to go. I believe we're golden. And I think it's going to be a heck of an interesting night, fellas. You know, we've got 3 regular season races to go in the Truck Series. There are 3 playoff spots remaining, so this ought to be good.
Yeah, it's such a great time. I wish I was going to the race. I've been fortunate enough to actually direct one of those broadcasts before, I believe, with you. It's always fun hanging with you, Kurt. Happy I got to see you over the weekend. I want to pull back the curtain a little bit on your glamorous life at Motor Racing Network. Can I do that?
You may feel free, absolutely.
Okay. So last week, Kurt was in Michigan at a county fair enjoying a demolition derby. Now he's in Tennessee hanging with MRN's Kyle Rickey and going to Hooters.
That's true, but
sounds like a great combo to me.
Yeah.
You know, the greatest part of that demolition derby up in Michigan, a bunch of us from the MRN crew went to watch, and we had Slugger Labby with us. And, of course, you know, Slugger is a veteran crew chief. He's won the Daytona 500. He's won the Brooklyn 400. And he was sitting there studying those cars from the stands, and he was saying, you know, man, I know exactly what I would do. I would cut this off. I would add this. I mean, he was ready to build a car for the demo derby. And you guys might have heard during our pre-race show on Sunday for Michigan, Joe Moore asked him on the air, okay, would your car pass tech inspection? And Slugger said, not a chance.
Hey, we've had 2 practices so far at the world's fastest half mile. Who looks quick and who needs to pick up the pace?
You know, I tell you, as far as who looks quick, surprise, surprise, Kyle Busch looks very, very tough.
What?
Yeah,
No.
I know. Boy, see, this is where you guys have me on the show for great insight like that. But you know, that said, go back and look at the last couple of races. Kyle has had the dominant truck at Pocono. He had the dominant truck again at Michigan last weekend and ended up not winning either race.
Mm-hmm.
So anything is possible. On the other end of that, who needs to pick it up? I tell you who needs to pick it up. A lot of these rookie drivers that are on the outside looking in. You've got 6 rookie drivers on the bubble trying to get into the playoffs, and the one who needs to win badly is Grant Enfinger. You know, you guys probably heard it. You know, his team got penalized. He lost a few points after Michigan. That he's just Grant's in a point where he has really got to have a win, and I think he was top 10 in each practice, but he needs to step it up.
Also, we have the track bite once again down on the racetrack. Not really as much of a test case as it was the first time we went to Bristol, but what did you see from that extra grip down in that bottom groove during the 2 practices?
Well, you know, I will say that when I think back at races that we've covered here over the years in the truck series, I don't really – Bristol's just not a track that has come to my mind. I've never sat in the booth during a race and thought, man, they need to do something to add an extra groove here. I mean, it seems to me that by the time you get the rubber laid down from the modified race, you know, the modified series runs tonight prior to the truck series, as always, to me it always seems fine. Look, granted, I'm not a driver, but just from watching from the stands, I have never thought this is a track that really needs that, at least not for this particular race. That said, I think the jury is still out. I haven't had a chance to hear a lot of feedback from the drivers, but you know, I think with or without it, I think we're going to be fine.
All right. Well, you know what time it is now. It's time to play.
No.
Oh, yeah. It's time to take a break, put you on hold, and play the old 5-on-5 off after dark. The category today, Kurt.
Oh boy,
could be interesting. All right, we'll take a quick break. We come back. Kid versus Kurt. Somebody's going to win this thing on MRN Crew Call.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, Stp Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
1 bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcast elevates your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
Keselowski to the bottom of the racetrack. He tries to slide up. Newman is there. Sideways is Keselowski.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Time now for Motor Racing Network's #1 game show. The game where MRN talent prove their mettle against the unshakable Kid Cruz to see if they've truly earned the right to sit atop the pit box or if they're simply a tool. It's 5 on, 5 off on MRN Crew Call.
Welcome back to the program. Getting ready to play the game show. Today's category After Dark, but somebody over here is hungry for a win.
I need one.
That would be Kid Cruz, and I'm hungry
Need one.
for a Creekstone burger. Man, summer wrapping up. Got to get out there fire up the grill, get out on that porch. And what you NASCAR fans need to do, and MRN fans, is head on over to creekstonefarms.com today. Use the promo code MRNBurgers. Get a box of 6 tender premium burgers for free when you place an order of $100 or more. Visit creekstonefarms.com. Use the promo code MRNBurgers. You see it right there on the screen to get your delicious free burgers today. I like to throw maybe a little Monterey Jack on there. Kick them up a notch.
How about some, yeah.
You ever stuff the burger with the cheese in the middle?
Yep.
They can get away from you a little bit, but man, if you get them right, they're delicious. All right, time to play the game show. Going to have Kid go first. Going to put 45 seconds on the clock. Robbie Mays Hayes, there it is right there. Category After Dark. And Kid,
yes,
your time starts right now. ABC News late night program Nightline ran for how many seasons?
Let's say 35.
Monday Night Football debuted in what year?
1971.
The Bee Gees song Night Fever was Billboard #1 for how many weeks?
13.
Elliott Sadler won at Bristol from the deepest starting position in 2001. What was that starting position?
32nd.
Pink Floyd's album The Dark Side of the Moon has sold how many copies in the U.S.?
Let's say 40 million.
There we go. 5 seconds to spare.
Wow, am I sucking today?
Oh, you were pretty good on those. I got to be real honest. You weren't too bad.
Thank you.
Let's bring Kurt back in. Kurt, you ready for a little After Dark trivia?
All right, guys, all set.
You know how this goes. Just try to get as close as you can. And your 45 seconds starts right now. ABC News late night program Nightline ran for how many seasons?
25.
Monday Night Football debuted in what year?
1971.
The Bee Gees song Night Fever was Billboard #1 for how many weeks?
I will say for 5 weeks.
Elliott Sadler won at Bristol from the deepest starting position in 2001. What was that starting position?
32nd.
And Pink Floyd's album The Dark Side of the Moon has sold how many copies in the United States?
I'm going to say 20 million.
There we go. 5 seconds to spare from these. Must have been easy questions.
How many answers did we match up on? I think we gave identical answers on like 3 of those.
Well, I got a good tiebreaker today if we need it.
If I win, Kurt, is the wager like you have to work my name into the broadcast somehow tonight if I win?
Sure, I think that's fair. Why not?
I love when he talks about
this kid's just cruising.
Yeah, there we go.
Would that count?
Well, he could reference Kid Cruz, but actually make it about the horse, the racehorse, and still get it to work it in somehow because he's like an equine specialist.
All right, let's see who won this thing. Let's bring in producer Daryl Smith. Hi, Daryl.
Hey, what's going on?
Man, we do something after dark about nighttime, and we didn't have any UCF Knights trivia. I kind of blew it on that one, didn't I?
Sure did.
But the helmet's right there.
There it is.
We love our Knights, Daryl and I. All right, let's see who won this thing. The first question, ABC News late night program Nightline with Ted Koppel ran for how many seasons? Kids said
35.
35. And my man Kurt Becker said
25.
25. The correct answer?
33.
33.
Boom.
First point goes to Kid Cruz. You feeling good?
So far, so
Feeling good. So far, so good. Monday Night Football, I mean, it's a staple in every household. It debuted in what year? Kid said
1971.
71. What did Kurt say?
1971.
They are on the same wavelength, but the actual number was 1970. So a push here. Kid still leads 1-0. Third question, the Bee Gees song, Night Fever, Night Fever. We got a light to show it. That was Billboard #1 for how many weeks? Kid said
13.
13. And what did Kurt say?
5.
That was probably one of Kurt's favorite songs. He's a disco kind of guy. The correct answer?
6.
6.
Oh,
And the
man.
point goes to Kurt
All
Becker.
tied up.
We are 1-1 as we head into question number 4. It's about Elliott Sadler, who won the Cup race at Bristol from the deepest starting position. What was that starting position? Kid Cruz said
32nd.
32nd. And Kurt said
32nd.
32nd. We're going to tie on this one. The correct answer?
38.
38.
Ooh.
Deep in the field. And we are even 1-1.
Was he
Whoever
the
gets
38
this
at the time?
correct wins the kit and caboodle.
All right.
Here we go. Pink Floyd's album The Dark Side of the Moon has sold how many copies in the United States? It's multi-platinum. Kid Cruz said
40 million.
40 million records. What did Kurt Becker say?
20 million.
20 million. The correct answer, Daryl Smith?
15 million.
15 million. Kurt Becker at the wire. He's in the playoffs.
I love it, guys. This could not come at a better time for me. You don't know what this means. I just found out this week that I got smoked for best exhibit in antiques at the Illinois State Fair. I've been very down about that. this has done a lot to pick up my spirits, gentlemen. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Well, I am so happy for you. I'm sure we filed a full inquiry into the judging at this state fair. It's not legit.
Well, I'd like to know who did tech inspection.
That's what I'm talking about.
The winner of Best of Show had a meat platter that measures like nearly 20 inches in width, and the rule book specifically says maximum width 15. So let me tell you guys, I am not real happy right now about that.
Hey, I challenge this. I bet you this win today is going to be encumbered. I stand by that. So, and your cat would be proud. Way to go, Kurt.
Anytime.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna talk to our folks at Creekstone Farms. We're gonna get you a legitimate meat platter for next year that includes meat. You'll win it. We'll bribe the judges. That's how we do it here on Crew Call.
Let me tell you start bringing in the folks from Creekstone Farms. You're bringing in the best. So I will look forward to that.
There you go. Big race tonight. The UNOH 200, 8 p.m. Eastern local. MRN.com, MRN app, or your local stations. You got Kyle Rickey, Daniel Hemrick. You're going to teach him a thing or two up in the booth.
Can't wait. We're going to have fun. He's coming off a heck of a good run in the Xfinity Series at Mid-Ohio last weekend, so I think he's going to be in a good mood. So it's going to be great having him on board.
Should be a lot of fun. We'll be listening tonight as always. Have a good show, and we'll talk to you next time, Kurt.
Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
There he is,
Thank
Kurt
you.
Becker, the little Becker boy. Took you out, my man.
I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming.
I didn't see that either. I think he had help. I think Glenn Jarrett was in there feeding him, because Glenn's on the broadcast tonight. I think he was feeding some answers.
Yeah.
Hope you had a lot of fun today. Thanks to Trent Owen. Thanks to Kurt Becker. As always, thanks to my partner, Kid Cruz.
Thanks, Tony
For
Rizzuti.
Daryl and Robbie, I'm Tony Rizzuti. We'll see you next time here on MRN Crew Call. See ya!
You've been listening to MRN Crew Call, presented by Hercules Tires. Stream us every Wednesday at noon on MRN.com or on the MRN app. MRN Crew Call is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or download it through iTunes or Google Play. MRN Crew Call is a production of the Motor Racing Network. Goodbye.